We here at Bobchat like to think we help shape our nation's youth, but unless you want your children to grow up like us, we suggest only listening with other inebriated adults.
Hey, it's not much, but it's honest work.
Bob!
Bob! Bob!
Bob!
Bobby!
Bob!
It's Bobchat, baby.
And we're just sitting here cranking a few beers, hacking a couple darts, and shooting the shit, you know?
The mics are hot. The mics are hot. Sauron had the ring for 1,850 years. Isildur had the ring for 2 years. It was in a river for 2,520 years. Deagle, about 5 minutes. Gollum, 478 years. Bilbo, 60 years. Frodo, 17 years. The river was the Lord of the Ring.
Ooh,
Boom. Bomb dropped.
that's funny.
You're not laughing. Laugh into the mic. It's okay.
I like the Deagle part. He had it for about 5 minutes.
5
and he
minutes.
was strangled to death.
He did. He gone. It's another episode of Bob Chat. I'm your host, Bino Barbarino. The other voice you heard is a good friend of Bob. Mr. Phil is here today. Do you want me to say your last name?
Go for it. Give it a
Phil
try.
Kreuzbergen.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
I know how to say it. I've known you long enough. Me and Phil have known each other, we just figured it out earlier before we did the show, 11 years?
Yeah, roughly 2011, 2012, yeah.
Yeah, that's
so
crazy.
11 years,
It's been a while. Look at us.
Look at us.
You're a man now. You're just like a teenager. Well, and I was pretty young too, though. So for people that don't know, my family used to own like a fastener wholesaler business, like a co-op store out in Strathroy, and that's where Phil is from, on the outskirts of Strathroy. He's a farmer by trade, just so everyone's aware. We're gonna get into that. And I said to him, I was like, yeah, you used to work for us in the summer, and he put me in my place and said, wow. I worked 2 years of Saturdays, bro. I was like, yeah, fuck. But that's how we met, basically. And we just became friends. And we don't always see each other that much, but we hang out every once in a while. And we've been kind of talking about the show. I think he's a fan, right? So
Yeah.
get you on.
Yeah, no, I love those years that I worked back in the day. But
Yeah, we had some good times.
Yeah, I'll never forget coming in on a Saturday. Sometimes Bob wasn't feeling too hot. I wasn't feeling too hot. And he'd be scrolling on the Chive or whatever.
The
and we'd be just hanging out. We'd get some wings sometimes for lunch and whatnot. But,
Yeah, we're like, oh, fuck, is there a customer coming in? I don't want to do anything today, man. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Fuck. But actually, one thing that I was thinking today about it, and I was like, a lot of crazy shit did happen when we were working out there. And do you remember like Lee and Floyd? Like Lee and Floyd DuPont? I probably I don't
remember.
Okay, whatever. This is like public knowledge, and like this was like put in the newspaper and on the news. Like, so yeah, this Floyd guy. So these people would come into the store, and this guy would literally just have like a wad of cash, like thousands of dollars, right? And they'd be walking around the store, and he would just like be picking out shit like crazy, like, oh, I want this, and like it'd be like, you know, they'd come in to be paying off a bill because we used to deliver them dog food. Like this place, like unfortunately, was like a puppy mill. Right? You remember that?
I remember delivering
skids of dog food out there, right?
Yeah.
So basically, so my grandpa was like convinced, like, oh, these people are drug dealers, right? And they had already like in the past had trouble with the law, like they've been raided at their farm before, all this kinds of stuff, right? And my grandfather was convinced that he's like, they're using the empty dog food bags to smuggle drugs or something. Like, Grandpa, I'm like, no, I'm like, they have like 50 fucking dogs out there because like they're a goddamn puppy mill, and it was crazy out there, man. Like and they had animals everywhere. Like you get out to this farm, there's like this old farmhouse, and there's like rickety old fucking barns and pens and shit, and like
I remember
broke down RVs and stuff and cars all over the place. Like, and it was like the whole ground was just like shit and mud. And like I got another story about going out there because these were greasy motherfuckers, man.
I almost like completely forget about it because I was so like I don't know if I was disturbed, but I was shocked. I was definitely shocked.
Yeah, you're like, where the fuck am I? You're like, I'm not gonna work Saturdays.
I quit. It's too much.
Yeah, pretty much. So I remember the one time I went out there to deliver a skid of dog food, right? And they're like, okay, we're gonna be there at 2:00. So, you know, just bring the dog food, no problem, right? So I get out there, and I should have fucking known better, right? But I was like, fuck, it's the last thing I got to do today. Then I can, because it isn't Strathroy. I live in London. I was like, I'll get this done. I can boogie home after. And so I get there, And like there's always vehicles there. There's vehicles everywhere. And I'm like, oh, they're just inside the house because there was like 3-4 vehicles parked there. So I'm like, I don't see any dogs. I get out of the truck. I walk up to the door. I go to open the screen door to knock on the normal door, and even the screen door was locked. I'm like, oh, fuck. I turn around. There's like 3 big fucking mean-ass dogs staring me down, dude. And I was like probably 20 feet from the truck, and I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, these fucking dogs are going to eat me alive, man. I was scared. So I just like start slowly like inching towards the truck, and then I finally get in the truck, and then they all like jump on the door and like they're barking at me. Then these people finally come like after this. I'm like, holy fuck. I'm like, I don't even want to. I'm like, you guys got. They're like, just stay in the truck. We'll unload it. I'm like, I'm not getting out of this fucking truck. Like, your fucking dogs almost ate me, you crazy fuckers.
When I was younger, I was really scared of
dogs?
like mean dogs, not like
because
nice
I mean,
dogs.
but you grew up on a farm. You grew up around animals. So for people that don't know, Phil's family, how long have you guys been veal farmer? You're veal farmers.
So my family started our farm in 2001. So we've been going for 22 years at our place. My dad's obviously been farming for over 30 years.
So now what did he farm like prior to the veal cat?
So my dad grew up a dairy farmer.
Ah.
But then his family decided to start moving towards veal back in the late 80s, early 90s, and then he partnered with my uncle, and they kind of took off from there. So
yeah, and then now the torch has passed to the next generation.
Yeah, so I at first I wasn't sure. Like I went to the University of Guelph, got my bachelor's degree
in which in agriculture,
food and agricultural business.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah,
and business.
Yeah.
Well,
I got the whole package.
Yeah, you do. You can't just be a farmer. You got to be a business savvy farmer.
That's right. A shrewd businessman.
Cashing checks, and snapping necks. I just want to drive a Range Rover, bro. Is that so much to ask for?
Someday I'm gonna fly first class.
Yeah. Ooh.
In a fancy suit.
Dude, they definitely give you a mint. Yeah. I was just a quick interjection. I was talking to someone about that. Me and Al were actually speaking about that. If you guys know Al, he's been on the show. I talk about him all the time. He's actually at my house right now. He's in my backyard drinking, waiting for us to finish the podcast. But whatever. I'm not mad about friends stopping by. But we were talking about how like he was talking to his dad one time, and he was like, he's like, we're gonna go on a trip, and he's like, well, how was the flight? And he's like, yeah, it sucked not having a cigarette for like 16 hours. And he was like, what do you mean you can't smoke cigarettes on planes anymore? It's like, dude, back in the day, like they were smoking darts, everybody had like a nice meal, everyone was dressed up nice. Like people, you see advertisements for like airfare, like Pan Am in like the 70s, everyone's wearing a fucking 3-piece suit. Like, oh, I got to put my fancy suit on for the flight, Sharon. Let's go.
And look how far we've come. They're starting to design planes where the person's ass on top of you and you're below them. You seen that? You seen pictures of that?
To try to get as many people on the plane as possible.
Yeah, and that's where we're headed.
That sounds safe. Yeah, and then now it's like everyone's wearing sweatpants, half awake, and here's eggs that we made 3 days ago.
Airplane food?
Yeah.
Bad.
Yeah, no, I'll just bring the liquor cabinet around. That's all I need. Yeah, fuck the food, man. But, yeah, I mean, I have another story about that, like, crazy... Oh, and so just as a conclusion to those people, they did end up getting like raided again, and like it turned out to be like a massive drug operation, and like that guy's still in jail.
I was gonna ask, are they in prison?
I'd have to like Google it and I'd have to look it up, but I could probably pull the article up if I did a little bit of digging. It's been a couple of years since I've like even thought about it and to look it up, but yeah, I think he went away for a long time.
Did they pay their bill? Like, did they pay you?
Oh, the woman came, like the kids, and I don't think they were together. I think they were just like business partners, but like clearly like she somehow disassociated herself from like the criminal activity to a certain extent, and then she came in and like paid up.
Oh, okay, so
like
the store didn't get screwed.
They did the raid, and then she came in and like, because they always owed us money, but we never cared because we're like, okay, they owe us $1,000, but he's gonna come in here, pay us cash, and probably spend another Gino. Like, so who gives a fuck? Oh, you owe us $1,000 for 2 weeks? We're basically gonna double that money next time we fucking see you. Like, big deal. So you have a bachelor's degree in agriculture and Sorry, I've been drinking and this.
No, it's fine. So yeah, it's it's a Bachelor of Commerce, and the major was food and agricultural business.
Food and agricultural business. Okay,
Yeah.
So look at you. You're an educated man.
Yeah, and it's funny because
What's up, college boy?
It's funny because I thought about it like a lot. Like, did I just waste 4 years and like 80 grand or whatever I paid for school just to come back and be a shitty old farmer? But I think really in the end, the bachelor's degree did work.
Well, and then just from some previous conversations that we've had as well too, though, like you want to bring the business into the 21st century, right? Like, not to say that it's not already, but you want to make it, if you're not expanding and you're not growing, then like, what are you doing? So I think that you probably learned lots of valuable lessons about how to better the business and obviously set yourself up for more success in your life. Like, for
sure, there's a different mindset you have to have these days to be in agriculture because things are changing quickly. And
so tell us about it.
So back in the day, like our grandparents and stuff, everybody had a farm. Like, there was a lot, like a good percent of the population had a connection to agriculture or was involved in agriculture themselves, right? These days, I don't even know if like 0.5% of the population is farmers, right?
Now, do you think that, is that to say that there's less people farming or there's more individual people owning more property?
It's consolidating. So yeah, it's less people and each size of farm is getting larger.
Well, that's because that's what people do, right? Like, and you guys bought up some more land, did you not? I believe the last time we spoke. Or you're looking to, right? Like,
yeah, we're really interested in trying to buy a piece of land, but unfortunately, land is going for almost $30,000 an acre.
Really,
in our area. So if you buy a 100-acre farm, that's $3 million, and if they got a nice house.
Yeah,
they'll add that on top too, so it'll be $3.5 million or whatever.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
Yeah, and then
that's a lot of money
and rising interest rates. So if you're looking at some investment like that,
well, and I would think that the veal it's kind of more of a niche market, right? Like there's obviously more dairy farmers, there's more regular cattle farmers than there are probably veal farmers, right? Like it's not.
Yeah, no, you're right. So the veal industry itself is, a few $100 million industry, whereas the beef industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
Yes.
So you're right; it is a niche luxury type of product.
Will you just do me a favor? Just get like one Wagyu cow, and then just like we'll just split it.
I actually had a Wagyu.
Did you?
Time. It was not good.
What did you like? How old was it when it went to like the butcher? Like, was it still like the veal age, or was
actually,
it like
I don't think it survived.
Oh no, really?
So like it was like a cross. So the problem is that's
so sad.
Every time I talk about Wagyu, like I feel like I'm just shitting on anybody that's like trying to do it.
Do people ask you about it a lot?
Yeah, like people like, what do you think about Wagyu?
And yeah, see that we did not even speak in a word of Wagyu earlier. It's just like people are like, oh, you're a veal farmer. Like,
yeah,
everyone thinks like Wagyu, that's like creme de la creme, right?
Veal is just Holstein bull calves. The Wagyu is a specialized breed.
Okay.
Like, and it's almost exclusive to just Japan. They're doing it in North America now.
Yeah,
but I don't believe it unless I actually see a purebred.
Well, that's the
Wagyu.
thing.
A lot of the time is they're crossed.
I said that the other day. I was like, yeah, if I want a fucking Wagyu cow, I want it to be from Japan.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I went and got, me and Al went for a cruise and went out to the res, got some gas, cigarettes, all that kind of stuff. The res, cigarettes, dope, gas, one-stop shop, baby. What else do you want? And they're friendly as hell. And then we stopped in Byron, and there's this place called Abe's Subs, and it's like, I went in there and I was like, I want to get a euro, and I was like, and he's a Greek guy, and I'm like, I want a Greek man making me a euro,
a hairy, balding,
exactly,
fat,
sweaty.
Greek.
Well, he looks pretty good for his age.
Oh, okay.
But I just want in general, I just want a Greek man to make me a euro. Like if I go into a shawarma place, like. I want a Lebanese guy making my shawarma because I know this guy knows exactly what he's doing and he's gonna make that shit awesome. Like,
true.
And I love it, man. I love going. Like, dude, the Lebanese people, they got food figured out, man. I'll tell you about it. Like, you know me, I love shawarmas, but I've expanded. I'm like, I gotta try that, like the kofta, the fucking fattoush, the hummus. Hummus is amazing. Baked pita chips. Oh, you guys aren't pita. Warncliffe Road, South London, Ontario.
I was gonna say that's the beauty of London, Ontario. Very diverse.
Yeah,
place.
And it's nice, right? Because I mean, like you can literally try food from anywhere in the world. So anyway, so go back to that. So how did you come about like being in possession of a Wagyu calf?
So
because what is Wagyu? Is it? You said it's a mix.
No, so like Wagyu, it's supposed to be a purebred type of. It's like a mix between like an Angus and like a Brahman. Like I know you don't know what that is, but like if you look up South American cattle or like Indian cattle, they got those big ears.
Yeah,
they look really funny.
And they have the bulls will have like the really big horns, like because they don't eat cows. Right?
These Wagyu, they don't have any horns. They're just weird looking motherfuckers. and honestly, I think genetically they're kind of weak because like they're not really
because they're meant
made for our climate.
They're meant to have tender meat too, right? Like
well, that's the thing is I've seen it being cooked and it looks amazing.
Yes.
So it's definitely worth the money if you actually get real Wagyu, but I think it's not really suited for our climate here. It's really hard to grow them here.
I don't want the North American knockoff. Okay? I would, like I said, if I'm getting a Wagyu steak, I want that shit to be from Japan.
If you're paying like
hundreds of
dollars for a steak, yeah, you better bet it's the real thing.
What's the most you've ever spent on a steak?
Honestly,
nothing.
Probably
we
like
butcher our own
$30.
Cows, $30.
Like I've never really gone for the creme de la creme type of steak. I just find something in the freezer and just
like if I go to a restaurant, it's like sure if someone else is paying, I'll get the steak. But if I'm paying, I'm like
prime rib.
Do you guys have chicken tendies? Oh fuck! So that's crazy though. I mean, and I can't imagine it's not easy. It's a lot of work, right? Being a farmer, especially being a cow farmer, right? I mean,
oh yeah, it's a different type of lifestyle. So a lot of people, work their 9 to 5 or whatever. There's 6 days a week.
Working 9 to 5
every day.
Make a living. Sorry, that's all I can say because it's copyright infringement.
Every day I got to make sure these things live.
Yeah. Like you are and so how many? So now, just so people are aware, like I'm aware. So your dad has the home farm, right? Which is where you grew up, and then now you currently reside 2 concessions over, and another farm and property that you guys own, and that used to belong to your uncle or something.
This one actually we bought from another guy, but
okay. It's a nice piece of property, man. You got that pond on there. We've hunted out there a couple of times, right? Like it's
to no avail. I feel bad. Like there's so many deer and geese everywhere, and this guy comes the day that I didn't hear a peep, didn't see nothing.
Yeah, that's just my luck, though, Phil.
Yeah, that's the plague of hunting.
You did offer me to come and shoot as many coyotes as I wanted, so.
Dude, I shot one.
Did you?
Yeah.
So I think I kind of got you into guns, didn't I? A little bit.
The truth is, yes, Bob. you did get me into guns those years ago.
Thanks, Phil. All those years ago.
It's funny because after that bayonet charge, I was hooked. I was like, I gotta get more of these.
So just for context for you guys, like one of the first guns that I bought was an SKS. If you don't know what that is, look it up. It's an old Russian surplus 7.62x39 gun, but it has a bayonet.
Yeah, or it was oily.
It's creoline, right? So basically, the reason that so you buy these surplus Russian weapons and stuff, and the reason that they're like that is because they literally produce them en masse, but like 80 years ago. So they would be like, okay, we're going to now put this in crate. It will last for 300 years. And then 80 years later, a bunch of people in North America are like, oh, we can buy crates of these dirt cheap, and everybody wants them because they're fucking cool. Now they're really expensive, obviously, with everything going on. I don't want to get into that too much. We try not to get too political here on Bob Chat, but unfortunately sometimes that happens. And I've been drinking, so I don't really care what I'm going to say, but I'm not going to get it. It gets me fired up, Phil. Okay? It gets me fired up. No pun intended.
I won't talk about the war, if that's what you're alluding to.
The war on legal gun ownership.
That's right.
Yeah. So it has a bayonet anyways. So yeah, we were like shooting a target, whatever, and then Phil's like, "Can I do a bayonet charge?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And he did it. And then, that's where it all started. And look at you now. But whatever, you live on a farm, you need guns.
Yeah. No, the coyote problem's really bad.
Yeah.
So,
sometimes,
unfortunately, a calf will die from sickness.
It happens, right? Because that's what I was going to ask you quickly. How many head of cattle do you guys have? Like on the home farm, how many do you have?
So the home farm has around 800, 850, and then at my place we'll hold 225.
Okay, so you've got over 1,100 cattle. Some are gonna die. That's just life, right? Like they get sick.
All the farmers know the saying: you got livestock, you got dead stock.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
It happens.
Yeah, that's. Yeah. I mean, but you got to be real with it, right? I mean, that's the cycle of life, and that's what you're doing. You're basically cultivating life.
That's right. And
delicious life.
Delicious life. But yeah, so one time, I put the dead one outside, and the coyotes, they're onto it right away.
Really?
So,
like within how long?
Oh, like 10. The night of. They'll be out there.
Yeah.
So I have a dog, a Pyrenees mix. It's a black lab Pyrenees mix. So she's barking all night, but I come in the morning and I saw the coyote on the property, like close to my barn. I've never seen it that close before, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna go grab the 30-30.
Yeah.
Nice. Put the earplugs in. Come around the corner.
Put the earplugs in. I love it. Dude, I'm so deaf from shooting guns.
The 30-30's so loud.
Do you have a bolt action 30-30?
No, it's a lever action.
I have a lever action 30-30. What brand? Is it a Mossberg?
It's a Marlin.
A Marlin. Oh, you rich bitch. You went for the fancy one.
Actually,
what'd that cost
it was the cheapest out of all the all the versions they were selling.
Marlins are nice. So what'd you pay? $700-800?
It was $800-900.
Yeah. See, I got I have a Mossberg, and it was like $500. So that's a nice gun. That's a beautiful gun.
Oh, it's very nice. They're so unaffordable. Like I was looking at the nice plated ones, like a silver plated or whatever,
or the gold plating.
They're like $2,000, but that was like years ago. Like I bet you they're 3 or 4 now.
The Martin Henry ones.
I would love a Martin Henry. But anyways, getting away from the story.
Yeah,
I saw that coyote, so I creep around the corner.
Yeah,
and he was sitting there, and I lined it up, shot him.
Where'd you shoot him?
I aimed for the body.
Yeah, right behind the shoulder blade.
Yeah, I aimed right for the shoulder.
Yeah, that's a good spot. That's a kill spot.
And he dropped like a rock.
Oh yeah.
And I was like,
how far away were you?
Oh my god, I got him. It was easy 50 yards.
Oh, that's a good shot though. Still, and they're vicious, man.
Well, that's the thing is, I was like, I got him dead.
Yeah, people say, oh, they're more scared of you than you are of them. It's like bullshit. Not when it comes to coyotes.
Well, actually, if it saw me, it would have ran, but I was like really sneaky.
Yeah.
I hit it, dropped like a rock. It started writhing around on the ground. It's like, okay, he's dying.
Yeah.
Thing gets up and runs as fast as it can out of the field. And I was like, there's no way that thing just ate a 30-30 round to the chest.
But it all depends though, right? Like if you there, and so for people that aren't aware, and maybe some people don't want to hear this, but that's just a reality of hunting, right? So basically what you want to do, especially when you're deer hunting, is once that animal takes a step forwards, that shoulder blade, because its natural body, the shoulder blade, like even on a human being, right? Your shoulder and your arm blocks like a side shot, right? So as soon as they take that step forwards, that shoulder blade exposes like the lungs and the heart, and then that is why you want to try to aim right behind there, because if it goes right through there and you hit the lung or you hit the heart, they're not going to go far, right? Like I shot a deer in the heart, 150 yards with a muzzle loader.
Wait, did it drop dead?
It jumped in the air, then dropped dead. It was amazing.
Got it.
It was
that's amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah, I've already told that story in Bobchat, but yeah, good for you. You got the coyote.
Well, I take no pleasure because like the thing is like I only shoot pests because like,
and I'm glad you said that. You're not, and that's the thing. You're not just killing to kill.
No.
You're killing because that is how you keep a functioning and safe farm operating.
That's right. Because I have livestock around. I have my dog around, my cat. Like all my neighbors, they all have pets outside. There's a serious coyote overpopulation, so
yes,
there isn't a problem with trying to take care of pests, right?
Well, and that's it, right? But you have to. You got to do something, right? Like, and that's the thing people don't realize. Like, even beavers are considered a pest animal. People. I still have people coming up to me now and saying, "Can you kill Canadian geese?" I'm like, you can when the season's on, right? Like people are flabbergasted about it. They're blown away. They're like, you can't kill Canadian geese. Isn't that illegal? And I'm like, yeah, if you do it any time other than between September 1st and the end of the year, yeah, it's illegal. But there's 3 months where there's a daily limit of 5 and there's no possession limit. So you can literally kill 5 a day and just stockpile your freezer. But yeah, beavers, you can just kill a beaver whenever. I mean,
I could really use a top hat. Like
Yeah.
a nice fancy top hat.
You're going to make a beaver top hat? Yeah, don't worry. People that care about that shit aren't listening anyways. What's up, PETA? At us. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, I mean, like, you wouldn't just go out and fucking kill a beaver just because.
No.
But because they dam up rivers. People rely on that for, like, irrigation. And next thing you know, your farm is flooding because these fucking beavers have dammed up your fucking river or whatever.
You know what? If one of them rodents chopped down my favorite tree, I'd be pretty upset.
You have a favorite tree?
Everybody has a favorite tree.
I don't know if I have a favorite tree. I guess maybe the apple tree's my grandmother's backyard because, like, I just took pictures with the kids in there, and I took them when I was a kid in there. What's your favorite tree?
Well, I don't know. I
knew this was
love
gonna
our
be an
nice
exciting
maples. I love our nice maples that are on the farms.
Yeah.
They're just nice.
I got a big maple right out front of my house, and it keeps the house cool, but it's, yeah. So, we're sitting here. Phil is drinking some red wine. Are you a big red wine guy?
I kind of wanted to add a little sophistication,
To the podcast?
Yeah,
Bob's just here slamming bush lattes like always. Do you like tequila?
Bleh.
Yeah. So now, Hakuna Tequila means no memories for the rest of your night.
That sounds about every time I have tequila. I don't remember anything that happens after.
So now, I was never like a really big tequila guy because I just didn't enjoy it, right? But I've got a couple of buddies, like Matt, for instance, who's a co-host of the show, and my friend Jacob is kind of getting into it too, and I got another friend that's also really into tequila. And the thing about it is you got to drink good tequila, right? So every time you've drinking tequila, it's probably been Jose Cuervo or some shitty-ass tequila, right? Like, I was over these guys drinking, and they're like, you don't need a chase. And I'm like, it's tequila, dude. They're like, trust me, you don't need a chase. And they brought out all these fucking bottles, like George Clooney's tequila. The Rock has a tequila now. Dwayne Johnson, if nobody knows who The Rock is, if you don't, just stop listening right now. But yeah, man, and like some of these tequilas, like I could just drink no problem.
That's what I always heard, was that we were drinking the gas of the tequila.
Yes.
And that there was tequila out there that was way better.
Like, dude, so much so that you don't even need a chase.
Well, I would like to taste that then.
Maybe we'll do a little tequila tasting one day.
That'd be great, because honestly...
Let's just get tequila drunk at the farm. Why not? Fuck it.
Sure, I'll have you out to the farm again.
I would like to come. I would like to bring my sons
Yes.
eventually. Like, once they get a little bit older and they kind of like really realize what's going on, I would love to bring them out and just show them like the cows, right? Because like you got the big barn in there. They would like, that'd be like, they've never seen a cow.
My friends come over sometimes, and one of my friends brings his son, and I love having them over. They can see all the calves, and
we'll get them little rubber boots.
Oh yeah, I get them all.
Oh, put them to work, Phil. Put them to work.
Honestly, get them a pair of coveralls too. We'll get them.
Yeah.
We'll get them out there for you.
We can do a photo shoot. You play video games, right?
Yeah, of course.
You ever play Minecraft?
Oh, I used to play Minecraft years ago.
Yeah, see, I've never played, and I saw a meme, and it was like, child slavery was abolished in the 1920s. Now, all kids want to do is play Minecraft. They yearn for the mines.
I was just going to say
that. Let them work.
They yearn for the mines.
Yeah, they do.
They're just drawn to it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have time to play video games anymore, but I don't know. I got a lot of hobbies, and like my work is a lot. So I am still laying pipe, if you're wondering. Not really laying the pipe anymore. I work at the pipe factory. I'm a raw material coordinator now. So, you know me, I can organize shit. I have an office now, which is really nice. I have a company phone.
Wow.
Personalized parking spot. Just kidding.
Yeah, I remember the last time I talked to you, you were talking about how you're getting promoted and stuff like that. I was kind of wondering how
I'm
that
putting
was
in the
going.
work. I'm putting in the work. I'm making things happen, Captain. What's going on with you, though? What's other than just like why don't you run us through like a day to day on the farm? What are we talking? Well, how early do you get up? Do you get up early as fuck?
I set my alarm for 7.
7. Phil, you call yourself a farmer. You should be up at the crack of dawn, 4:15, and that's late.
Fuck that.
Yeah, this is this. I'm a new age farmer, Bob. Okay, I'm good with getting up at 7 o'clock.
Actually, you'd be shocked. Some farmers get up these days at 9. It's bad.
At 9?
Some people, they have robots that do the work now.
Like the milking machines and
Yes,
stuff.
you got milkers and
So
feeders.
how do they? Well, I understand the feeders, right? Like the automatic feeders. But like, say a dairy farmer, like what? They just hook up all the shit on the udders the night before, and then they.
No, so milking robots are really cool because the cow just walks in the stall whenever they feel like it, like when they want to be milked, and the robotic
Really?
arm goes underneath them, and it cleans them off and puts the milking machine on them, and then they just step out when they're done.
No way.
Yeah, but
AI has gone too far.
I wouldn't disparage dairy farmers too much. They still get up early. It's more like the chicken farmers. They don't do
Those
shit. They just cut grass.
Those lazy. Yeah, is there like a long-standing beef between cattle farmers and chicken farmers?
Everybody loves to throw in a joke here and there. Just let them know that they're just cutting grass.
You're shit, chicken. If there's any chicken farmers listening, you're shit.
I don't actually hate you guys. You're good shit.
It's okay. We're all joking at Bobchat.
Yeah.
I hate everybody.
No, so like my normal day is get up, work for probably an hour and a half, eat breakfast, work for a few more hours, eat lunch, then afternoon's free for all. So
Oh, nice.
get
what-
whatever you need to get done. Sometimes, like this past week, it's been pretty shitty because we've been just picking up straw bales, putting them away like all day. Then
Like a lot, eh?
Oh yeah. So
Now, do you wrap them too, or you just put them in the barn?
we just put it's just straw, so it doesn't have to be wrapped. It just gets like a nylon.
Oh, just
net
bales,
around
not
it.
rolls.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
And then they gets put in the sheds, and then we've been doing that for the past couple weeks, like right till 8-9 at night, and then you eat some dinner in between, and then that's been the past week, but I think that's about over now. So
Oh, that's good. Yeah, because now, but are you going to cut the hay again?
no, I actually don't feed any hay for the calves, so
Or the straw, I should say, sorry.
yeah, no more straw. Like the wheat season's done.
So do you just sell it all off then?
No, we use it all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just bedding. So
Oh, the
we'll
bedding.
use it out throughout the entire year till next summer when the wheat gets harvested again. Then we'll bale up the straw again next
Now,
year.
let me ask, what do you do with that big pile of like shit and piss soaked straw at the end of the year? How do you get rid of that?
So
Do you just fertilize the field with that?
yeah. So every spring and every fall, we spread it on the fields that haven't been done the time before.
Yeah, good.
So we actually just bought a new spreader this winter. So now we got 2 spreaders in the fleet.
Oh,
and,
awesome.
we can just go at it. Like it's a lot of shit.
Yeah, 1,100 cows, I'm sure makes a lot of
it's a lot of shit. So then we spend some time spreading that every spring and fall. It's quite a bit of mass, but we always get her done.
You get her done. You got to get it done. You
Yeah.
got to put that time in and that effort, right?
Yeah.
You're going to be a millionaire one day. And
Already am.
Are you?
No, I'm kidding.
You're the first millionaire to be on Bobchat.
No. I'm just the slave.
Oh, you're whatever. You're going to take over it full time one day.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Probably, yeah.
You're putting in-
It's funny because my dad, he's always like, yeah, I'm gonna quit, or I'm gonna retire. Sorry, not quit,
Yeah,
retire. It's like, no, you're not.
What else is he gonna do? What's he into?
Nothing.
Farming.
Yeah, all he cares about is farming.
Yeah, and that's nothing wrong with that.
No, I just feel bad for him because it's more like his body can't handle it forever. It's and his mind. It's not necessarily like he doesn't want to do it. It's more like
it's a lot of work.
I'm tired. I'm worn out.
I don't want to wake up at 7 every day. I want to sleep until 9.
Yeah, he wants to sleep in.
Yeah,
he actually isn't physically possible to sleep in for him, but
because he's just like his entire
programmed.
life.
Yeah,
his
literally.
entire life. He's like, I'm up at what time is he up every day?
Well, he milked cows his entire life until he was in his 20s. So he was used to waking up at 4
every day.
Yeah,
So
like these days he can get used to waking up at 7, but he'll wake up at 4 and then fall back asleep.
So he probably goes to bed early then. Like, I'm a night owl, man. I could stay up all night, but like I hate getting up.
Yeah, I'm more of a night owl as well, but he just falls asleep when he can.
Yeah. That's farming. Hey, it's not much, but it's honest work. Do you like that meme?
That
guy died apparently.
Yeah. I was actually sad.
I know. R.I.P.
No.
The honest work farmer guy died.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what that is, look up. It ain't much, but it's honest work farmer meme. He's awesome. It's so funny. There's so many memes.
It's such a caricature because, like,
yeah.
like all old farmers kind of look like that with like the overalls and the hat and everything,
and the blue plaid shirt underneath, and like, oh yeah, classic. That's a classic look.
Yeah,
I like the shirt you're wearing. You're wearing like a Hawaiian. You should have told me. I would have put my Hawaiian shirt on.
I always like wearing a nice collared shirt when I go out. You know,
I didn't forget how tall you were, but like Phil's pretty tall. You're a lot taller than I am.
I'm 6'3".
Rub it in, Phil.
God's blessed me with good genetics.
Yeah, well, good for you. I'm proud of you.
The crazy part is my brothers are taller than me.
Your brother, yeah, because you have two brothers, right?
Yeah, my older brother is 6'5", I believe, and my younger brother is like 6'7".
That's crazy.
And he's massive. He's a tank. Well, they actually called him Unit. Back when he was working for Hendrix Genetics back in the day. It's a turkey farm.
Oh, cool.
They called him Unit.
Yeah. So you have a sister too, don't you?
I have an older sister.
So is she the oldest?
Yeah, she's the oldest out of the four kids.
So it's the sister, the brother, you, and then the brother.
Yeah, that's right.
So I guess you're one of the middle child.
Yeah, I'm technically the middle child. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the forgotten one, the unloved one.
I was waiting for you to say something. Yeah. I'm not the oldest. I'm not the second child. I'm not the baby. I'm just, nobody cares about Phil. He's got to work his ass off to prove himself on the farm.
No.
Give this man a raise.
No, I'm being a little facetious. I get treated well. So.
I know you do. It's all fun and games here at Bobchat. But that's good. I'm glad you're doing well.
Yeah.
I'm glad to see you popping off on the farm. I got to get out there. We haven't been out there for a while.
Yeah, I definitely want to have you out sometime. I actually didn't mention, but I'm also chair of the Veal Farmers of Ontario board.
Oh, shit. So, you got some credentials.
Yeah, so I've been going to important meetings.
Yeah, very cool.
With the agricultural minister.
Really?
And the other leaders of the other farm organizations and stuff, yeah.
That's awesome. Good for you, man.
Yeah, moving my way up.
Yeah, seriously.
Climbing the ladder.
Fuck yeah. They're going to be like, when you think of veal in Ontario, you think of Cruisebergen.
I was actually on the front of the magazine for the summer edition. Yeah, I should show you.
Were you? Yeah, we'll make that the cover photo.
I look kind of hot.
Oh my God, that Phil Cruisebergen, he's so hot right now.
Single.
He's single, ladies. We have there's only about 17% of our listeners are female, so it might not be the best place to get a date. But you never know.
Still decent odds.
It's better than zero.
That's right.
So I went and saw Oppenheimer yesterday.
Oh, I actually wanted to watch that.
It's good. It's 3 hours, so just prep yourself for that.
Wait. I don't know if I can make 3 hours without pissing.
Well, that's what I was going to get at. You got to have some take a drink up, like just make sure you pee before you go in. And then, like, dude, it was tough for me because I went with my friend String Bean. We went down to Rib Fest first. Rib Fest is on this weekend in London here. And, I went down there, got some food, and then we went to the movie theater. But it's 3 hours, right? I'm like, I got to work on Friday. And he wants to get food first, so it's either like 6 o'clock, which is like too early because it doesn't give us time to get home from work, get showered, get dressed, get food, right? Mm-hmm. But the other one's at 10. I'm like, dude, I can't go to a movie that's over at 1 o'clock in the morning on a fucking school night. Like, not happening.
You're going to go to bed at 1:30 in the morning?
So they have the VIP cinemas at the Westmount. So for people that don't know, the VIP is like basically they got a bar, so you can just like drink beer and get mixed drinks while you watch a movie. And like right before the movie starts, while you're in the theater, they come up to you with like an iPad. And they're like, "Oh, can we get you any food?" And they'll bring it right to your fucking. They got little like it's really nice. It's an extra like $6 more than a regular movie ticket, and it's obviously like 19 plus. Yeah, sorry, American listeners that are listening. We only have to be 19 to get drunk. Yeah, 21. I couldn't even imagine waiting. But that's the thing. You can't wait to be 19. Next thing you know, you're fucking 30. You got 2 kids. You're like, holy fuck. What happened? What's going on? You know? I have an office job. Fuck. No, it's getting better. But yeah, so I had a beer. I had a pint of beer. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
I'm like, I really want to just drink this, but I know if I just slam this beer, I'm going to have to go take a piss, and I don't want to miss any of the movie. So I'm like nursing this thing for like 2 hours. And then finally we're like 2 hours in. I had like one big gulp left. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. And then I was like, all right, holding out. And then, the last 15 minutes, I was like, I got to piss like crazy.
Dude, I didn't even make it through Puss in Boots' Last Wish. Like, I got to, like, the scene with, like, the mirrors. Yeah. Like,
I've never seen it. I don't know.
Oh, dude, the movie's amazing. DreamWorks kills it, dude.
You couldn't make it through. You couldn't make it through Puss in Boots' Last Wish.
Like, it's literally like an hour and 45 minutes. I was like dying.
What do you mean? You're a big guy. Fucking put a clothespin on it.
I drank like a large soda, like a large pop. You know?
Yeah.
Horrible idea.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think I could make it through Oppenheimer. But I hear there's like some like naked scenes at the start.
It's like a little bit in, like there's like him and Florence Pugh are like
getting hot.
Yeah, she's pretty hot. They're getting it on. I think she's hot.
Okay.
They're getting it on for sure. There's some full front. There's like she's topless. I mean, it's Christopher Nolan. It's done beautifulally though. It's very artistic.
Big fan of Christopher Nolan.
Yeah, who's not?
I mean, all the Dark Knight movies.
Oh, so good.
Interstellar. The list goes on.
Have you seen the new The Batman?
Yes, I actually did watch it.
It's 3 hours too.
It's a long one, yeah.
Yeah, damn you, Martin Scorsese. As soon as he made The Irishman, everyone's like, is it cool to do 3 hour movies again? Can we do that? Now
they got away with it. I think the audience didn't mind.
No, and it's and I a lot of people were like, oh, it's boring and blah blah blah. I'm like, yeah, but it's like the story, and it's about there's a lot that went into it, and it's very cool. I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I'm not going to wreck it for you, but yeah, if you're considering going to see it, I definitely would recommend going to see it.
No, I'll definitely go with my brother sometime when I got time. Like this next week is pretty busy, but
I'd go. Yeah, soon. Let's go see Barbie, bro.
I want to get my Kenergy up,
My Kenergy. Oh my God! Don't ever say that to me again. I don't even know what that means. I mean, I have nothing against Barbie. It's just like I'm not gonna pay. Like I'll watch it when it's on something, right? Like Oppenheimer. I'm like, I needed to see that on the big screen. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I was like, Streamy looks at me. He's like, should we stand up and clap when they light off the bomb? And I'm like, I mean, it would be funny. It would be funny. They did it.
I saw a video of someone farting when the bomb goes off.
Oh, really?
Everybody was laughing their asses off.
Yeah. Awesome.
No, I think it'd probably be a good film to watch.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think you would definitely enjoy it. I enjoyed it. I have no regrets.
Was he really whiny when he was in the White House? Like, I'm the destroyer of worlds or whatever. The line.
It was not trying. Yeah, no, he said that when it initially went off. Right, he quoted that text. But no, I mean, I think my interpretation of it, anyways, from the movie, and is that he understood the magnitude of what was going to happen, right? Because okay, they were forced to create the atomic bomb out of necessity because they knew that well, if we don't do it first, the Nazis are going to do it,
right,
or the Russians are going to do it, right? So it's basically their hand is forced, even though they know it's destructive, they don't want to do it, they have to because they don't have a choice. But they realize that this isn't the extent of the destruction that can come from this endeavor.
Wait, did they know that nuclear fallout was a thing?
Well, to a certain extent, right? But the thing is that they developed the atomic bomb, and they said, well, we can make a hydrogen bomb, right? So I mean, I think he understood the scope of the level of destruction that could be achieved by pursuing this scientific endeavor.
Oh, I see. So he saw future.
He's like, this is gonna. He's like, these will we wanted it for a one-time thing, and now it's going to it's gonna accelerate, and it could be world destruction. And look at us now. All it takes is one fucking crazy motherfucker to push a button, and we're done.
Right? Yeah, I see what he's saying, because
it would be a snowball effect.
Like Cold War stuff. Like the main thing out of that was words like mutually assured destruction.
Yes.
Right. That's the idea that if they shoot, shoot their nukes, we shoot all of ours.
Exactly.
And we're both toast.
Exactly. Right. And the thing about it is, in the movie, especially because at that time, during World War II, they were allies. America and the Russians were allies.
Yeah, right? that's actually a little known fact.
Yes, right, and that's what propelled the arms race in the Cold War, is because they all of a sudden started keeping secrets from each other, right? And then it was the espionage and the distrust in each other, and then that's basically how they ended up in a Cold War.
Right.
Because now they both have the technology and they don't trust each other.
Well, I can understand. There was a lot of backstabbing back in those times, right?
Exactly.
Like the Germans and the Soviets, they
had a pact.
They had a pact, but
and then Hitler invaded Russia, Operation Barbarossa, and in what spring of? I'm sure you'll get mad.
43.
I think it was 41. I'm pretty sure it was the spring of 1941 that I'll look it up. Just quickly, Operation Barbarossa, June 22nd, 1941. Bob with the win. Don't question my World War II knowledge, Philip. Young Phil.
I've watched a lot of documentaries, but I
know you do.
actually think you probably beat me out.
No, that's okay.
In historical facts.
Well, World War II is my jam, right? So I love it. But yeah, it's good to know things. It's good to be knowledgeable. There's nothing wrong with that.
I used to be a huge history buff.
I remember that. That's part of the reason why we connected.
Yeah, like I would spend a lot of time watching documentaries and.
But yeah, you used to watch a lot. I love watching documentaries, man. I'm about it.
I'd watch all the TV shows like Band of Brothers, all that stuff.
You know Band of Brothers, the guy that plays Malarkey in Band of Brothers.
Honestly, it was so long ago, I totally forgot.
He's in Oppenheimer. There's a lot of people in Oppenheimer. Like a lot. You're like, oh shit, like the guy that played Freddie Mercury, like Sami Malek or whatever. Like he's in it. Robert Downey Jr., Matt Damon, obviously. But there's a lot of other people that Army of the Dead on Netflix.
Is that a comedy?
The Zack Snyder with the Batista, and they go to Las Vegas and like.
Oh, actually, I don't think I've ever watched it, but I think I know what
it's
you're
so
talking about.
good. Anyways, the one German guy, he's in it too. So many times throughout the movie, me and Al are like, oh, it's that guy. Looking at, me and Al. So many times throughout the movie, like me and Streaming are looking at each other like, oh my God, it's that guy, right? It's the guy.
It's that actor. It's that actor guy.
It's that guy from that thing. Yeah. So yeah, what else is going on? What else has been new and exciting with you? Anything you want to talk about before we get out of here?
Nah, I think I'm gonna go to a couple weddings, and I'm really
it's wedding season, kid.
Yeah, it's wedding season, and I'm looking for like the bachelorettes or what do they call that?
Yeah, all the
bridesmaids. I'm looking for bridesmaids. Yeah.
Yeah, you are. You tall drink of water. Where you got a nice. So are you a groomsman in the one wedding?
The one wedding I am a groomsman. The other one I'm not, but that's a good thing.
So are these people getting married?
One's a friend from grade school.
Okay.
And one's a friend from university.
Yeah. Do you have any cool university stories? What's the craziest thing that happened to you at university?
There's too many stories from university. I could go on for a long time. I loved back in first year when we used to sneak people in at the bottom of the towers. I
don't even know what that means.
So like, I
love it.
If you ever go to Guelph, there's we call it South. So they're dorms.
Okay.
They're kind of like concrete bunkers.
Oh, no shit.
But they had doors at the bottom of the towers. And they were locked from the outside, but you could open them from the inside. So we used to have parties.
Oh, down in the base, down in.
Yeah, because it was ground floor.
Yeah.
So you'd open the door and you can let in whoever, because like they lock the doors at a certain time at night, right? Because they don't want people just walking in.
Vagrants.
Like houses, or your dorms, right?
Yeah.
We used to have parties down there that were just fucking
Killer.
Awesome.
Ragers.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's what I said too, because my dad knows Phil, right? And I was talking to him the other day. I was like, yeah, Phil's coming over. He's like, oh, it'd be great to get the agricultural input on Bobchat. And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, how's he? I was like, yeah. And plus, he went to university. He had that experience. He had some crazy times. Well, we'll have to have you back on, and we can talk about it next time.
Oh yeah, I could go on and on.
I know. We always have good talks. And when you came over, he was like, well, I was trying to think of what we're going to talk about. I'm like, that's never a problem. Like
no,
like I knew we would find things to talk about, like I'm never worried about it. Like there's no rhyme or reason to Bobchat. I don't prepare anything. It's nothing. It's literally like I got a couple of beers.
I don't see any notes.
Yeah, I did read the Lord of the Rings thing off of my phone because I saw it on Reddit, but whatever.
Got to consult the social media.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's where the juicy stuff is, right? I can't come up with that shit. It's a meme. There's no copyright infringement.
That's funny that you mentioned meme, because before I asked Bob, like,
Yeah.
do you like memes? And he was like totally offended.
I'm like, am I breathing? Am I alive? Is my heart pumping blood through my fucking body? Yes, Phil. Obviously, I like memes. You know who doesn't like memes? People that don't get it.
Boomers.
Boomers. They don't listen anyways.
My dad, oh, dude, like my dad sometimes he'll come up to me with his phone, show me the cringiest like meme that you've ever seen. It's like a Facebook joke. And it's like, oh,
okay.
ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, you're pretending it's funny. Like, oh wow, that's hilarious, Dad. You're really with it. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, no, it's life's crazy, man, and I mean, it's obviously not an easy life being a farmer, but I mean, it's a lot of hard work. But I mean, if you're happy and it's paying off for you, I mean,
it's a booming time to be in agriculture. Yeah, honestly, so like there's endless opportunities right now.
Yeah, and I wouldn't like you said earlier, like, oh, did I waste my, like, I don't think you did. Like, you how do you put a price on your education, right? Like, sure, you might have been doing the same thing, but you have those credentials. Now you're part of the Veal Association of Ontario. Mm-hmm. That's legit. How do you even get involved in that?
My cousin got me involved, but I just kind of I liked it.
Is it like a union kind of, like you have to pay dues? And
yeah, you're right. So basically, all regulated farm products pay, they get a deduction on their products that they sell.
Yeah.
We call it like a license fee or whatever.
You got to pay for everything. I mean, there's that's just how it is.
But
right?
the perks of paying that fee is that you get to have a marketing board.
Oh, okay.
So we help the industry develop and do research and have relations with the government, because the government doesn't just consult with everyday people. They need a functioning organization to represent the farmers or whatever you're.
Now, does that also kind of help regulate the pricing and the industry? Obviously it's like a regulatory body, right? Is what the committee.
It's not necessarily so. The best way of describing it is it's a marketing board, because it's not necessarily a regulatory body, because there's quota. I don't know if the listeners know, but products like milk and eggs are regulated in a way where they have quotas.
Yes, I know about that.
They can only produce a certain amount, right?
And what about I've seen that, all those farmers dumping milk out.
Right, so
sad, man.
Well, they overproduced, so unfortunately they have to dump. But the upside is that they get to charge the price that they want. So they charge a price that makes them profitable $365.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Maybe some farmers, they'll have tougher times and maybe they won't make a profit, but generally they set a price that works for almost all their dairy farmers. The rest of the farm products, so all your fruit and veg, all your beef, veal, pork, sheep, lamb.
Yep.
Ducks. They're not, ducks. It's not quota. So it just goes where the market goes. So there will be times where you're making money. There will be times when you're losing money.
Yeah, because it's not because people are always going to buy milk. People are always going to buy eggs, right? It's not everybody's we got to get our weekly veal.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah, you're right. So sometimes it's hard to regulate those other livestock industries, but also at the same time, it's better for the consumer because I don't want to get political, but the dairy.
Whoa! This is Bobchat. Don't get political.
The dairy has a massive lobby in Canada. They fight to make sure that they can keep their quota and their price setting
reasonable
capabilities.
Yes,
they can price set. Nobody else can do that. No corporation can just determine whatever price they want. I'm disparaging them. It's bad, but it's bad for the consumer because they don't get cheaper options. And it's funny because once the Americans try to break into our Canadian market, try to break that quota by shipping their cheaper American products here, then they start frothing at the mouth. Then they're like, the American milk, it's full of antibiotics. It's full of bacteria and stuff, just to try to make it seem like it's garbage.
Even the chocolate milk
from the brown cows. Yeah. But it gets messy when you're dealing with all of that. But for our sake, for our board, we're just trying to, develop our market, like work on trying to keep our industry alive and going, tomorrow we could lose it. Tomorrow we could be cannibalized by the beef industry. Beef industry is short right now. They don't have enough animals, so they could easily, just say, listen, we're going to take all your Holsteins and feed them for beef.
And so take them past the age of the veal calves to a full-grown cow.
Yep, they'll steer them and then they'll just feed them for beef. They could.
So now, why is there the lack of cows? Is there a reason for that?
So I would say the primary reason is the massive drought that the Midwest had a year ago. So they couldn't grow enough hay in the Midwest and in the prairies. So I don't know if our listeners know, but Alberta, Montana, like out that way, they had a real hard time trying to grow hay. There's a lot of cattle out west.
Yes.
They couldn't feed them. So a lot of them, they had to be culled or,
so what does that mean?
Processed.
So they had to, so they took them to market.
Yeah, they had to sell them for beef. And those cows and those heifers that they use for replacements, they had to go too. So what happens?
They didn't have enough to repopulate.
That's right. So that's what happens is they couldn't repopulate, and now that cycle takes a couple years
until they can build up that amount of cows again.
That's right. We call it the herd. We call it the herd, the cow herd in the United States.
Yeah.
So they have a massive shortage, but also our dollar is very weak.
Yes.
So there's a very good advantage for the Americans to buy beef here.
Yes.
So there's a huge draw. That's right, because it's cheaper for them. So there's a huge draw on our Canadian beef to the Americans.
So then ultimately resulting in a lack of beef in Canada.
That's right. Yeah. So there's just a huge shortage.
That's crazy. See, and a lot of people don't know those kinds of things because nobody's talking about it.
No, it's funny because...
We are, but...
We are. It's funny because farmers, sometimes they don't go public about it because we make a lot of money.
Yeah.
But at the same time...
yeah, you do. Look at your shirt. I love it. Ballin'. We'll take a picture after for the cover.
But at the same time, I do feel for consumers because it's unfair that they have to pay absurd prices for a nice steak. I think everybody should be able to eat a nice steak and not like break the bank, No,
and I totally agree with that. I think unfortunately there's a lot of inflation and everything is more expensive, right? Mm-hmm. What's the rhyme or reason, Phil? There is no rhyme or reason. We just got to keep, unfortunately, we got to keep living our lives. And, if you don't need a steak to survive, but they're awesome. Would be nice.
A steak every once in a while, just hit the spot. Hit you right in the soul. Just a good cut of meat.
Fuck yeah. A nice marbled veal. Something real nice.
Cooked right. Just tender.
I remember. I remember having dinner at your house, and it was like the best roast I've ever had in my entire life. It was amazing.
That was a lot of years ago.
It was.
I almost forget. Was it good?
Oh, it was amazing.
That's good.
I know. I remember your mom brought it. I was like, "What?" She's like, "Oh, this is veal roast," and I was like, "Oh my god, it is delicious." But anyways, hey, listen, I appreciate you coming over. I love you to death. We're going to do this again.
I love you too, Bob.
Yeah, thank you, Phil. Some people are afraid to say that. I'm not afraid. You know what? I always tell the people I love them because God forbid something happens and you don't see them again.
I respect it.
I want the last thing I say to them to be that I love you because I mean it. But I appreciate you coming over. And yeah, we got to do this again sometime.
We're going to do it again.
Yeah.
We'll make it happen.
Yeah. I thought it went well. And I love the energy you bring, and I want to know more about what goes on in the life of a farmer.
Absolutely. Well, it's actually funny because people were talking to me about doing that Farming for Love show on CTV. I don't know if you know about that.
You should do that.
We'll talk about it again. Yeah. Everybody's like, "Oh, you got to do that show," and it's like, I got to know what happens on it first.
Whatever. You might find your true love, Phil. And that
makes for great entertainment, apparently.
I would love to see you on. I'd be like, we've got Phil from. You know how many views Bobchat would get if you went on that show? We'd be like, we got Phil from Farming for Love on today. We knew him before he was famous, so yeah, kind of a big deal.
I'm getting there. I'm getting famous.
I hope so. This is a good step for you. I mean, this might not. I don't think Bobchat. Sorry to burst your bubble, Phil, but Bobchat's not going to get you famous. I'm not famous yet, so it's my fucking show. But hey, listen, if you get cremated after you die, you can be put into a little hourglass and still continue to participate in family game night.
What?
Yep. Fun for the whole family. All right, it's Bobchat, you guys. You know where to find us. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much anywhere you find podcasts, you can check us out. Tell your friends, tell your family. My Nana loves Bobchat. Your Nanica love Bobchat. Phil's cows love Bobchat. He's going to start playing it in the barn. Thank you for coming over, Phil. And do you want to leave us with some words of wisdom from the farm?
Keep it real.
Keep it real. You keep it real.
I will.
All right, guys. This is Bobchat Baby. We'll see you next time.
Bye now.
Bye. Coming this fall, Farming for Love with Phil Kruzberger.
I want my podcast and my lady, simple life but not too crazy. I'm slim but I ain't shady, fuck you if you hate me. I'm rocking the mic cause it's Bobchat, baby.